So I'm a fan of this bow and arrow celebration that Trey Young's got going on. I'm also a fan of Trey Young in general. You might not think that if you follow me on Twitter, because I love posting this Luka Doncic picture. But I am. I like Trey Young quite a bit, and I think he can be a pretty effective NBA player. And while I don't think his rookie season has been perfect so far, I would say it's gone pretty okay. But I am actually going to start this video off a little negative because I feel like I've been too positive lately, highlighting players. So we're going to look at some Trey Young turnovers. He had 8 of them in this game against the Sacramento Kings. And I think most of them, and a lot of the turnovers that I've seen from him this year, are when he just gets a little too excited, where he's got some highlight play set in his brain, and then when he acts it out, he doesn't totally have everything figured out. Maybe he'll lose the dribble, maybe it's a bad pass. We're going to see that right here on this alley-oop attempt to Dewayne Dedmon, which wasn't really even close, and the defender was in a good position. So while Trey is a gifted playmaker, sometimes he may get just a little too carried away, and I would hope that in time he can rein back some of these. Is there a chance that he has to tighten his ball handling a little bit? I don't know. I mean, there have been a couple of these where he's either been stripped or he's lost the handle. I would like to think that those are just aberrations. Another thing I took a look at was some of his highlights against the Sixers, aka a really big team, because I was thinking, if there's some type of team he's going to have trouble scoring against or just doing anything against, it's probably these guys. To be fair, he gets around that Joel Embiid screen pretty easily. This one here, there was a bit of a defensive mess up, but even so, he had pretty much no chance getting around Amir Johnson. And then the couple times he tried to go to the rim, well, try to score over Joel Embiid, Trey Young. It goes exactly how you probably think it'll go. These are little things that he's going to have to iron out, but it's still a thing. His size is definitely a thing he's going to have to deal with. But anyway, it's time for positive Trey Young. The number one thing is, of course, his confidence on contested three-pointers. So his actual percentage is not beautiful right now. It's actually like 29%. I don't really care. When you look at the form, when you look at what he did in college, when you look at how sure of himself he is going up with these, on top of the few that have been difficult for him that he has made, I think he's going to be totally fine as a three-point shooter. And as long as he's making these in consistently, that's going to open up his entire game. It's going to open up the Hawks' offense. And while I don't think he's ever going to be Steph Curry, he can at least be like 75% of Steph's effect on the game and the way he just breaks defenses. And we are now going to take a look at how Trey Young can just make the defense all out of sorts as we watch one more three over Tristan Thompson. The dude has killed the Cavs this year. So on this play right now, Jaren Jackson is going to step up after the screen. And what happens is the wing player has to go over to the paint to defend the roll on Alex Len. What happens? Trey Young throws a dart to Taurean Prince, and that's a three-pointer. Similar thing here, once again against the Cavs, where the big is going to step up on him. And same thing's going to happen. Kyle Korver is going to defend the roll on Alex Len. And this is exactly why the Hawks drafted Kevin Huerter. And if he can be a player, then these guys could be very difficult to defend. One more time, a similar play. Bam Adebayo having to trap Trey Young. Justice Winslow has already made his way over to defend Dewayne Dedmon's role, and then you get it to Amari Spellman in the corner. Now here are some more obvious ones. Just two Grizzlies just straight up run at the guy. I mean, when you have two dudes who just run at you and help defense, I think they're a little scared of you. This one, Tristan Thompson pays a little too much attention to him. Alex Len gets an easy dunk. Trey Young's passing abilities, combined with just the threat of dropping a three-pointer at any time, can make him a very effective offensive player. And if the Hawks are able to surround him with just enough shooting and just enough offensive talent, they could end up being one of the best offensive teams in the league in a few years. But again, all of this is going to be dependent on Trey. I mean, we're just seeing the moment the dude comes around a screen, guys are really paying attention. I mean, here, Dwayne Wade gets beat on the roll because he just prepared to step up on the screen, but then the big guy just faked him out and went to the rim. Here, they try to trap him, and then Vince Carter, still going strong at however old he is able to hit in that little fadeaway. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about is Trey going to the rim. He's actually averaging about 15 drives a game this season, which puts him around 7th or 8th in the league. He's a small dude, we all know this, but it seems that he's got confidence going there, and it's been okay enough. Sure, it's not going to be his calling card, but as long as you can actually be somewhat of a threat, that's good. He is shooting about 5 free throws a game, which is already like around Kyrie Irving levels of shooting free throws, so that's cool. And Trae is also shooting a very respectable around 67% at the rim. So if you thought he was going to be a non-factor within the three-point line, driving and all that, it seems that he is already proving that one wrong. Pretty balanced offensive player overall. Now even with that, I think it's safe to say he's always going to have some problems going to the rim. I mean, we saw that stuff against the Sixers earlier. So developing the floater game, I think, is going to be huge for him. He's not taking too many shots from between like 3 feet and 16 feet. And I don't want him taking the majority of his shots there, but just having that being another weapon to go to because of his not like insane athleticism and of course his size once again. So more plays like this one could be good for him. But still, Trey Young's good. A great shooter, a very good passer, and could be a special offensive player. We're going to close the video with this once again because I just, for some reason, really like this celebration. I don't know why. Shout out to Trey Young.